Harry's wife. Disaster. It's his fault. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. The Sun reports in an article by Alex Diaz, Harry and Harry's wife's popularity in the United States crumbles as fans become fed up of couples oversharing and high-profile interviews. The against-all-odds love affair between a British prince and a Californian actress was the most special of relationships, and at first Americans lapped it up. Well, I'm pretty sure I'll find quite a lot of Americans who say, no, we fucking didn't. But anyway, the article states, even while opinion in Britain soured, Prince Harry and Harry's wife could bank on a groundswell of support in the United States, where Americans were thrilled to see one of their own first marry into, then try to revolutionize, assertion of control, the royal family. But all that seems to be changing, and the Sun has seen it firsthand, after speaking to ordinary Americans across the country. The more the couple say, the less America seems to like it. An exclusive poll for Newsweek magazine last week showed that Prince Harry had dropped 45 points in United States public opinion, while Harry's wife has dropped 36 points in just 1 month. Their plummeting popularity coincides with the publication of Harry's memoir, Spare, and the associated media blitz, taking in multiple high-profile interviews. A month before the launch of the book, which becomes the fastest-selling non-fiction book ever, shifting, apparently, 1.4 million copies in its first day of release, Harry had an approval rating of plus 38, which has now dropped to minus 7. In the same period, Harry's wife has gone from plus 23 to minus 13. While media coverage of the couple since Megxit has largely been fawning, the tide has been turning. American PR expert Eric Schiffer claimed that Harry's reputation was on the brink of spontaneous combustion. So, what's going on? The Sun travelled the length and breadth of the US, i.e. probably doing it virtually, to speak to ordinary Americans about what they thought of Harry and Harry's wife. I didn't like this sort of truth. It's oversharing, said Patricia Bardagiwa, 56, a novelist from Connecticut. Apologies if I didn't get the Connecticut accent right, but there we are. I could have done without the frozen penis, but that's our society now. In Memphis, Marlon Bradford, 49, agreed Harry should have recognised he's not like the rest of us and not exposed all that dirty linen. It's an ugliness we don't really want to see, even though all families have that side to them. It's made so many people uncomfortable. Even Bethany Frankel, 52, a former Real Housewives of New York City star who made a living by letting cameras into her private life, said disdainfully, "How much more? I mean, what's next?" The Newsweek survey found that almost half of Americans, 44%, said Harry was wrong to include details of private family conversations in his book. And that is in a country where, as the New York Times put it, it's wrong for someone else to invade your privacy, but it's perfectly fine, even applauded, to exploit your own. Patricia Lavelle, 42, an immigration lawyer from Brooklyn, said, "I've tried to give Harry a lot of grace, given he's been through a great deal of trauma, but you just don't do this to your family." Perhaps this level of queasiness is because of the way Harry's eye-popping revelations about private conversations, petty squabbles, and his sex life contrast with the duty and decorum that characterised his grandmother, the Queen's reign. Harry's wife and Harry have destroyed the royal family's image, and now they have to put it together again, said 66-year-old Sheila Jones, a saleswoman from Danbury, Connecticut. I certainly will buy Harry's book, but I have to say I'm embarrassed by it. That sense of embarrassment is common in the United States, where 68% of the population said they admired the late Queen, and 29 million awoke before dawn to tune into Harry and Harry's wife's 2018 wedding, where once there were hopes for a sort of American infiltration of the crown, with Harry's wife proving America's superiority by being a very modern princess, there is now a sense she has let the side down. Daisy Graham, 21, from Memphis, told us, "I love the British royal family. Before the book, I was very pro-Harry's wife, but now I have an issue with them. They seem so whiny. They have all this privilege, but still whinge about it. It makes me think, come on, grow up. It's like they're telling us they have all this nice stuff, but she's moaning about wearing a certain colour to an event. I mean, really?" Harry also seems to have squandered the respect he held in the United States for his service record, thanks to his careless description of killing 25 Taliban fighters like chess pieces. Eric Winkler, 22, a former US Army serviceman from Memphis, said, "I served in the military. I've had a lot of respect for Prince Harry because he served his country, especially as he was born into wealth and privilege." But in the book, he talks about killing 25 Taliban. Now look, I don't care if you are Prince Harry or David Goggins from Iowa. What's David Goggins done to be brought into this? That is not something you should glorify. Harry did that and it wasn't right. Eric and Daisy weren't the only young people to say they'd become disillusioned with the couple. Newsweek suggested that the Sussexes have alienated a core market among American 18 to 24-year-olds, with 31% viewing Harry positively and 38% viewing him negatively. Among Gen Z, 26% viewed Harry's wife positively, while 34% viewed her negatively. But there were still some young fans among the people we spoke to. A 24-year-old musician from Connecticut who goes by the name of Bryant told us, "Most people my age admire Harry for his honesty. Older people might not like it, but I respect him for it." Indeed, it seems that the Sussex question has become yet another battle line in the US culture wars, with difference of opinion tending to divide along political, generational, and ethnic lines. So, of course, whilst I mentioned the poll in a video yesterday about how their popularity has plummeted, this fleshes out some of the views and, of course, demonstrates that among some young people, they're not as popular as they once were, invariably a bastion of support for them. But where does this all impact upon a narcissist? Well, of course, as I've explained to you previously, plummeting popularity is a problem for the narcissist. Harry's wife thinks she's popular. She thinks she's wonderful and marvellous, and therefore a poll saying to the contrary is a threat to control. She, of course, can maintain that the content of the poll, well, it's something that the Sun have reporting on, they're biased, they're against me, and she will just dismiss it. But the fact is, a poll was taken, and a poll shows that her popularity has plummeted. She, of course, won't think to herself, I now need to do something to make myself more popular, perhaps I need to change my behaviours. Not at all, because she doesn't see that there's anything wrong with what she does. However, she notes this lack of popularity. It can't be down to her. Her narcissism will not allow her to think it. And therefore, it's either as a consequence of something or someone else. And the easiest thing for her to do is, yes, blame the Prince of Pink Pancakes. Harry is at fault. As the intimate partner primary source in a sustained devaluation, he experiences periods of being devalued and also respite periods, little restitutions of the golden period when everything is wonderful. He's allowed to come out of the chicken coop. He doesn't have to sit with a chicken on his head. He's allowed to come back into the marital bed, etc. However, these are but little moments in the sunshine before the chill of winter, and the shadow of malicious devaluation is cast upon him once again. With Harry, it's very easy to blame him. You're the one that wrote the book. Oh, but you encouraged me to, Princess. She, of course, will deny that that's the case, not accepting that she encouraged him, the revision of history through her narcissism. And this lack of popularity will be laid firmly at his door. It's you. You're like a millstone around my neck. You're the albatross. You're the Jonah. I need to deal with you. And that could be something that hastens his disengagement. Because remember, as I've explained in parts past him, disengagement is the most likely outcome here. And if Harry has served his purpose and his presence is causing more problems for her by way of repeated threats to control, it could be the basis of jettisoning him. Because her narcissism doesn't care for him. She doesn't love him, although she says that she does not, because she's a narcissist. And if he becomes a convenient scapegoat, and it is he that her narcissism tells her is causing the problems vis-à-vis her popularity, then he becomes blamed, and it may well precipitate his disengagement. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.